Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Lockup, the Azorius deck that aims to lock the opponent out of the game. Once locked, there's almost no way out of it. Talk about putting the FU in fun, and in funny. It's a diabolical plan that unfolds right before the opponent's very eyes. Beyond what we need to lock out the opponent, we do have some bounce, as well as a way to help us acquire more ammo. There is even a little bit of draw within some of our bounce and combo pieces to help keep the lockdown in place. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Into the Flood Maw as a way to bounce enemy men for only 1 mana. It's fast, easy, and gives us the flexibility of being able to bounce one of their men or even a permanent back to the opponent's hand. With this deck, we're mostly concerned about enemy men, but there are some permanents out there that we can't let them keep on board. 3 steps ahead is a Swiss Army knife that gives us 2 excellent modes. The counterspell option is always great, and we can often use that along with the draw to keep them locked down, as well as find us more ammo. The copy option is the other one that we're looking to use to our advantage. We can make a copy of our lockdown bird, the Aven Interrupter, and keep the opponent locked out of the game. It's time to hit that concede button, bro, and thanks for coming on the big show. High Noon is one of our combo pieces that limits players to only 1 card per turn. It does hit us as well, but we're looking to lock down the game, and we want this limitation in every game. It hurts, but we're going to make it hurt the opponent more. Let's hope they like pain. Voice of Victory is a great lockout piece. With a voice in play and a High Noon, the opponent can only play a single card, and it has to be on their turn. It's a great way to make sure they can't snipe any of our men on our turn, and gives us the ability to play cards out without the worry of a counterspell. Plus, when we send it in, it creates a pair of attacking token men and hits for 3 instead of just 1. Scrollshift is a powerful tool we can use to blink out one of our men, and in this deck we're looking to use this on an Aven Interrupter to plot yet another one of the opponent's cards. The bonus is we get a card draw as well when we fire this off. It's also excellent against removal since we can blink out the target to prevent one of our men from going to an early grave. Sure, there are other spells that would work great to blink our men, but this one gives us a card to replace itself and keep the pain train rolling. Aven Interrupter is the diabolical mastermind behind the entire lockout plan. When it enters, it exiles a spell and plots it so it can only be played again later, but will cost 2 mana. With a High Noon in play, the opponent will be stuck trying to play out only 1 card during their turn, and the Interrupter will make sure their spell doesn't resolve. The 2 mana cost also increases the more Interrupters we have on board, so cards that get plotted could end up being way too expensive to play out. Wizards are so evil for creating this card. Eject is a new card from the Final Fantasy set that we will use to bounce any non-land permanent back to the opponent's hand. Eject can't be countered, so any ward abilities are null and void, plus the draw a card clause helps us keep the opponent locked out of the game. Unlike Into the Flood Maw, we can use this on one of our own permanents to save it from destruction, or if we need to bounce an Interrupter back to our hand to keep the opponent locked out. The concede button is going to look so tempting for the opponent. Waxen Shapethief is a clone variant we can play at instant speed to copy one of our men. In this case, we're looking to make yet another copy of our Interrupter and say nay to the opponent's plans to get any cards on the board. In case we're struggling, we can even cycle the thief away for 2 mana. Memories Returning is our card draw spell. It doesn't really draw, so it won't trigger an opposing Shield Red. We'll get the best card off the top 5, then the best 3rd card as well, and usually a land as well. It's a great way to fuel up our hand and keep the opponent from getting back in the game. Since it's a sorcery, we're free to play this out on our turn and hopefully find an Interrupter or one of our copy cards and keep the lockdown going. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land we can sacrifice to fetch out a basic land. 4 Meticulous Archive, the Azorius Surveil land. 4 Floodfarm Verge, plains that becomes a dual when we have a plains or island in play. 4 Adarkar Wastes, the Azorius Pain land. 4 islands, and 4 plains. Playing the deck is rather simple but can be stressful when our combo doesn't materialize within in a few turns. We simply don't have the tools to fight a long fight, and we need our combo pieces to show up fairly quickly. To that end, mull aggressively when the right cards aren't in hand. It's all about getting an interrupter and using our cards to keep it safe, or copy it to keep the opponent from implementing their plans. The early turns are about getting our early cards down. A high noon or a voice of victory early really help. Even if the opponent gets a fast start, we can use our bounce to eliminate early threats and interrupt them on the way back to the board. An interrupter is key, so do what you can to find one. It's possible that the opponent might make plays that we don't need to interrupt, so keep that in mind as well. Without any men on board, an innkeeper's talent is useless, and if you have the cards to keep them without men, then letting the talent resolve is fine. We can then keep our ammo for the cards that do matter. Get the handcuffs? This is a lockup. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Alex, the black. But he picked the whitest guy ever. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We've got a good part of our combo as well as some bounce. Keep your pants on. Oh, surprise, a Chocobo player. They're becoming more common than anything else. We'll go with our passage. We need to be sure we hit double white. We get pecked, but they have no follow-up plays. No further pressure really gives us a chance to get set up. We'll go with a voice this turn. We've locked them out of our turn, and with an interrupter in hand, we can disrupt their turns as well. They send it, they might have a pump spell, and that would not be good for us. We'll take the hit. They play out an Ambrosia, the white Chocobo. They have gone full bird. If we send it, we will get in for damages, but then we'll be open. Combat damage is how we win, plus the voice won't let them play any combat tricks. Let's get in there. Here they come, but we'll go ahead and schloop their snoop. They thought they were getting damages, but they get 2 instead. Their pants go up in smoke. I'm not sure why, but GG's. This is Cow Champion. He's here to show us his game cow patties. I'm a pass on that, bro. We get a shuffler special and only 1 card we can use. Eject is fine, but it is 4 mana. Had those been Into the Flood Maw, maybe? But not this. Mull, then we get a 3-lander with better lockout pieces. This is a go prison style coming up. Keep them locked out. We will need to draw into another white, but we do have 3 steps ahead, which we can use to draw for only 3 mana. Not ideal, but it is an option. Voice. It's time for you to get in there, bro. Don't get killed off. The voice goes down along with our hopes. We needed you, bro. We draw a 2nd white, and we're right back in this game. Plus, we've got 4 mana for the clone job and even to fire off the memories. They go for a Fenrir, a little bit of ramp and mana fixing, which means we can disrupt their game if we delay their play. Yeah, that dog has to stay tucked in your pants, bro. Don't whip it out. This is a family show. We'll pass the turn here. We can simply make a copy of our interrupter when they go for their Fenrir again. And there it is. We're not saying no, we just don't want to see it right now. Our Surveil land shows us an Eject on top, which we like. We can just bounce their stuff back while we get in through the air and on the ground. They go for an Esper Origins and toss a card in the grave. This turn we're going to want to fire off the memories, but let's get in for hits first. Damages, bro. Damages. That's a high noon right there. It's either that or the bounce, but high noon is total lock. We'll take the untapped land. That's going to let us play the high noon this turn. You blew it, Oppo. They can only play one card and they have 3 men to snipe. Good luck. But not really. With only one card they could play, they go for card draw. They just killed themselves. Nice, bro. Very nice. We draw another Interrupter. It's lights out. Let's get in for damages. Sweet, sweet damages. His life is flashing before his eyes. They try going for a Yuna, but our Interrupter gets in there to stop the nonsense. This is how we put the FU in fun. It's game over. Let's get in for hits. GG's, extra cheese. This is Lochter the Doctor. It's another guy so white, he's almost a ghost. We'll make you full ghost, bro. We get a Shuffler special with a set of cards that we cannot keep. Mull. Then we get a 4-lander with a high noon, some bounce, and a 3 steps ahead. This is better. Not great, but it's better. We'll ship the Pain land, they drop a Plains, then play out a Case of the Uneaten Feast. That's a card we're not concerned about, they can have those all day. We draw our Bird of Prey, and now we can go high noon with Interrupter to seal the deal. They play out a Beard. He's old and ragged and doesn't do anything by himself. You should go with a younger team, bro. We'll hit them with the high noon. Maybe they were planning on only playing 1 card per turn anyways. They go for an Authority. That too is not a concern. Notably, they haven't played a land. We draw a 4th land, and we're set to interrupt it up in here. They're going for a Pack Beast. It's got no front end, but its back end is wider than most states. This is a job only the Interrupter can do. An Animal Pack Owl is up next, but he too can kiss it. We'll clone it up in here. Their plotted cards cost 4, but they've only got 3 mana. Bro probably should have taken a Mull, but he kept a steamy pile. We'll go on in. We can trade blows all game since they've only got 2 on board, and we have 4. They go for a voice, but stop me if you've heard this one, Interrupter. Not only do we plot their voice, but we also draw a card. This game is so unfair. No, wait, I mean it's a lot of fun. It's time to eject their Beard. Santa needs a timeout. He looks kinda tired. They can play out one of their 4 mana plotted cards. They go for the Pack Beast. I wonder if they'll scoop if we bounce it. It's GG's. No, wait, the game is still going. We draw the instant clone. It's not GG's yet, but we're getting close. We'll go in for hits and ship the turn. One card to save your soul? What's it gonna be? The animal pack owl? But we got the clone to pack that back in their pants. They try the pack beast, but our Scrollshift will make them pack that up too. Get to packing, bro. They just can't. GG's, extra cheese. And smell you later. This is Mana Jerker. Bro, your mama told you not to do that, or you'll go blind. We get another shuffler special. The man is trying to keep us down. This is just not a good hand. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with a voice at least. This should be fine. One of these 4 mana cards has to go. I'm thinking the Eject, since the clone can copy an Interrupter if we draw one. Keep your pants on. They front load a white leyline for the giggles. We're fine if all they're trying to do is gain life. A case. Even if we could stop it, we wouldn't. That's all yours. We draw a second voice. It's time for one to get on in there. Double voice is 6 damages a turn, that's no joke. Bro is rethinking his deck choice as well as the decisions he's made in life. Maybe I shouldn't jerk my mana, he wonders. More life gain? Bro, what is this? Our Surveil land shows us a 4th land on top. The clone army we will have. The go for a caretaker's talent. They want to make it rain tokens up in here. Let's keep our eyes peeled. Let's get in for hits. This is 5 damages a turn. Even with their life gain all primed and ready, it's something they can't ignore. Damages, bro. Damages. It looks like they're going through their turn without any plays. No, wait. They're going for another talent. You can have that, bro. It's all yours. We draw memories and we'll want to fire it off. We're not too worried about what the opponent might try to do. An Interrupter is the best choice. We'd really love an untapped land that will give us the ability to fire off our bounce. They never take the untapped land. Thanks, bro. No way. A sweeper. They are going to struggle to get anything else on board after this, though. We're locked and loaded and set to auto. Our Surveil land shows us a high noon. Sound the combo alarm. Start the fires. It's a showdown and the opponent showed up without a weapon. They go for the life gain guy again. We could interrupt it, but they might have something else as a follow-up. Let's see. A doll shop. And that, my friends, is another satisfied... No, wait, that's how they plan to make tokens. Interrupter will shoot this plan down. Bro, you don't have a token to copy. They are being very optimistic. It's time for High Noon to take over. One spell per turn, but we've got an armload of Interrupter. They go for another doll shop. That would be nice, but we got this. All that plotting, but I don't see any real scheme. Our Surveil land shows us a land, but we don't need it. Let's decline that draw. Our hits will get them down to 6 life. The best thing they could do to get another turn after this is not play anything. Keep it all in your pants, bro. No plays is the best option. They didn't listen. They went for a card anyways. And that seals the deal. GG's, life gain met the extra cheese. This is Canseco. No, wait, it's Secco. He needs to Secco out a better avatar. Good lord, bro. We get a 3-lander with part of the combo. We're missing our men, but we do have a pair of Surveil lands to help our cause. Keep. Our Surveil land shows us our 4th land. We will want that 4th mana. Let's throw this High Noon down right in front of their face. I was thinking maybe they had a counter, but it went down smooth. They're not very good at dealing with enchantments. Bro should have brought a different set of pants to this showdown. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Go ahead and grab it all, but only 1 card per turn. Let's go with an untapped land. That way we can have our counter up if we need it. The Surveil land can wait. No plays through their 4th turn. What are they playing? Reanimator? Go fish, Uno? Poke your mom cards? Our Surveil land shows us a voice on top. That's going to lock the down to only their turn. I like it. They go for a Vivi, which I suppose is fine. We can just bounce it, and it's not like they're going to pop off with a flurry of spells. The question here is, how do we want to fight this deck? I think we have to pass the turn and maybe bounce their Vivi at the end of their turn. Vivi is going to pull the ejection handle. That's my prediction. They go for a wizard token, and that's enough to send their Vivi to grab the ejection handle and give it a pull. Another land would have been nice here, but we did get a memories. This isn't easy. We're giving them an easy with most of our mana tapped, but we need an interrupter, and this is the way we find one. And there isn't one. We'll just take an eject to start. We're likely getting the 2 lands, which is fine. We'll toss the High Noon at the end of the turn. An extra isn't going to do much anyways. Vivi comes back to the big show, but they can't do anything. We'll simply make Vivi pull the ejection handle yet again. This time around, we're firing off a counter. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. You can't land that thing here. Are you mad, bro? Our Surveil land shows us a bounce, and that's fine, as we can use that to bounce their token right on out of this game. They go for a Cornered by Mages, but that's also a no. We'll counter and get some draw action as well. We'll toss one of the clones. We don't really need 3. With our voice on board, we can start to chip away at their life. We have enough mana now to pay the flash back on the memories. We'll bounce away their token this turn, though. We don't need that thing hanging around. They go for a bounce of their own on our voice. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to hit the high noon. We like having our voice on board, so we'll use Scrollshift to dodge the bounce. We draw another memories that should help seal the game up. We can't possibly miss on an Interrupter again. There it is. Interrupter on board. This game is a lock. Someone get the handcuffs out. The opponent is going in lock up. The opponent gets to play 1 card and only on their turn. We've got an Interrupter and 2 clones with a way to blink the Interrupter. GG's. Overwhelming amount of cheese. Wizards needs to emergency ban High Noon or the opponent doesn't have a chance. They go for a command, but the Interrupter doesn't like the way that smells. Another memory's additional GGs on top of the GGs we already have. It's quadruple Gs. A 5-lander, that's awesome. Shout out to the Shuffler. They go for their command yet again. Bear witness to the attack of the clones. It's the only play they can make, apparently. It's nice, bro, but we don't want none. Cancico stays in and takes the hits like a champ. We get them with the cheese and the quadruple Gs. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.